and you get to check Sick Kid in your first time Kakariko, where everybody else had to double dip. But you go back to Kakariko several times throughout a normal seed, so there's usually another opportunity to do it for those who checked it early.
Indeed. Yeah, and we're off just some cash in both Sanctuary and Link's house.
Yeah, Cassidy and Malagor opting to start at Sanctuary, where Mac and Etienne are going up to the uncle.
Indeed, they're also going to get the tree pull here off of tossing the Sign of the God. Get a map check. I saw, both 5/6 crystals in Eastern Palace and Talcera, and I think it was a regular crystal in the desert. And the tree pull, big 20s.
It's very useful.
Yeah.
Not as useful, seeing as how you got 300 out of Sank, but, you know, it's still pretty.
I mean, it's a foundational cash, you know. Oh!
Blows on the uncle.
Yeah.
And we're getting a lumberjack check from both Cassidy and Malagor. Looked like a bug net to me.
Yeah, I think I think it's the bug net. And because I was looking too closely, I didn't capture those, you know, the uncle chest on the right-hand side there.
Cassidy is setting up a second tree pull. Needs those rupees.
Oh yeah. If you already get 300 early on, you may as well try and see if you can get the money for Zora later on.
Mac got a bomb, and so did Etienne. They're going straight to back of escape. I'm not sure where the bomb was. I guess just a lucky drop.
Yeah, I think they got it off of the green guards in the escape part. There's the first sword.
So they got a key, which would allow them to do the dark room down to Dark Cross, and a sword to make it a little easier, but both of them say they'll just do it later.
Mm-hmm.
Cassidy is doing that late CAC play that we were talking about earlier, saying, no thank Kakariko. Let's go over to Sahasrara.
And Malagor is going to be the first one in Kakariko. There's 50 rupees on the Lake Hale Island, which means that we're probably not going to see anybody pick that up unless they blind mirror over.
So Max set up the second tree pull, but then didn't do it. I think he's going for a tier 2 or 3 instead. Hoping to get bombs and save a trip to the shop. Like I was saying before, it's very common to avoid coming over to here to Sahasrara. So if Cassidy gets something out of Sahasrara and nobody else has a good reason to come over here, that can definitely pay off. Green Pendant and Ice Palace.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Guaranteed progression on Cold Stare, I think.
Unluckily for Cassidy, there is nothing of true value in the back of Sahasrara.
So this is the backfire, right? Cassidy went to Sahasrara, but didn't continue on to Boatless Eastern. So if it turns out that there is like Darkhold access locked behind Eastern, Cassidy is going to be losing time having to double dip that whole area where everybody else goes there in one trip. But, you know, randomizer, everything you do is a gamble.
Yeah. I mean, so far Kakariko has not been paying out either.
Cassidy still doesn't want to go there, though. Hook shot in the dam.
Oh, that's useful.
Oh, Mac with the play. He knows where the bombs are. That's probably where they got a bomb. 10 arrows for 100 rupees. Seems alright. Kakariko just refusing to pay off.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in Kakariko so far. Well, Bloomer, I guess, is okay.
Of course, this is not terribly usual, right? Like, usually there is something in Kakariko. That's why everybody always does it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many item checks that the likelihood of there being absolutely nothing of value is not very high, so... Well, that's the pack of 10 random bombs in the mini mobile cave, but otherwise, nothing either. Oh, this seed has been very stingy so far.
So we have the hookshot and the gloves, or at least we have knowledge. Nobody has both yet. So I'm expecting there to be a lamp somewhere. Hopefully not in Eastern. That's a pretty terrible place. Cassidy checking the stun prize is just a small magic. That's a very interesting play to do that when your only weapon was a bomb.
Yeah.
I wonder what Cassidy was hoping the stun prize would be. Or just was looking for the knowledge, maybe.
Well, if it could have been something very useful. I've seen just the other day there was a daily where the stun prize was magic jars, and somebody in Ganon's tower ran almost out of magic for the torch room, so they used the stun prize to refill, and you know.
Ice Red Cave coming up empty. It looks like our progression is definitely going to be somewhere not so fun.
Yeah,
either Zora, Agina, or Eastern Palace.
Or the front of Escape. We haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Open seeds.
We did see the back of Escape, which had the sword, but otherwise... I mean, we're still missing a map, so... That is guaranteed to be dropping somewhere in the front of Escape. I gotta say, I do like the yellow tunic of head collar Link with blue mail. Oh, there's a shovel in the library. What a one of those loaded fetch quest items.
Very fun location for that. Malagor had given us the Agina check, though. This is I disagree for the most part, but it can totally pay off. But not today.
Not today. Yeah, Agina is gonna be rubbish until it isn't.
So my philosophy for routing the early game of the Light World, like the Sphere 0 check or Sphere 1 checks, is it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to avoid doing the things that everybody else is going to do, because you're going to do them eventually, so why put them off? But there are things that can happen to make it more efficient, slightly more efficient, to check them a little later. Like pairing the Uncle Drop with the front of Escape is a very efficient play, for sure.
Yeah.
But putting off Kakariko until 8 minutes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, it would have paid off for Cassidy, right? If he didn't go to Kakariko ever, because there was nothing here.
Yeah, like the only thing that might come in handy is the blue mail, and that's completely optional.
Malagord, unfortunately, even though he did the late Uncle check, was not able to pair it with Front of Escape, because he had not been to the back to get that sword yet. He could have done the bomb escape, but yeah, that's not
with the
really ideal.
With the hookshot, not too bad, but still not like, something you really want to do.
Yeah, it's much slower than normal, even with like super sweet bomb strats. I think Etienne might be going up the mountain.
It looks that way.
I'm
not sure if Etienne did the lumber check yet, but
yeah, I believe Etienne and Mac both did the lumberjack check. Or no, it was Cassidy and Malagord who did it. I have them backwards.
Yeah, okay, that's a lumberjack check. I definitely saw Mac do it on the way to Kakariko, but I didn't see if Cassidy or the left-hand side did it too, but I didn't see if Etienne did it.
All right, Cassidy now making his way to the Uncle Drop where he'll find the glove. But does he save and quit to go to back of escape, or does he just say, I'm doing the bomb escape?
Yeah, that's a good question. And yes, it's a bug net on the Lumberjack ledge.
Etienne going up the mountain. He doesn't need no lamp. Vision is optional in A Link to the Past. #blind.
Imagine
Matt's
if
gonna do the fake flipper.
Oh, yeah, that's also a bunch of checks that we are gonna see here. Possibly hobo. Yeah, okay.
It's unlikely to lead to the Darkhold, to the logical Darkhold access, but it is likely that there is something here.
And
Maybe not on hobo specifically.
The old man had the second mail upgrade, so we're gonna have a red mail. We're gonna have a red mail for most of the game.
Safety seed.
We're gonna see our first hint of the run. Hobo also paying out only with some sticks.
Malagord following Mac with the fake flipper. And our hint. Very, very helpful hint. Thank you so much, Vitor, for these wonderful hint tiles. I can't even remember the last time I got a hint tile that helpful. I mean, it didn't give any information, but it's a huge self-esteem boost, right?
Yeah, it's like
you gotta feel good about your chances in this race. You're the hero of Hyrule. Let's go.
Yeah, that is certainly increasing motivation.
Oh, Malagord missed the Whirlpool. Whirlpool's confirmed to be the hardest part of this game, I swear.
Yeah, that Whirlpool can be really annoying. That said, I would see that rocks are more annoying than the Whirlpool can be. Since we don't have Moon Pearl, we can't do the fake flipper into the waterfall cave, sadly.
Yeah, that is my thought for why this is not a play that I personally would have wanted to make. It's very unfortunate. And the flipper's being up on the mountain.
Cassidy making the play into Eastern here.
So Etiem's sequence break up the mountain so far has been paying off because he's going to be able to do these flipper checks a lot more efficiently than Mac and Malagord.
And route the waterfall cave in as well, so that's 2 extra checks. Oh!
And the mid.
And a bottle?
So I fully expect to see the lamp or the flute. More likely to be the lamp, but in Eastern Palace here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually curious to see if Etium is gonna do the Super Bunny glitch.
Malagord probably going back with escape here. I don't think the Super Bunny sequence break makes a ton of sense because you're going to want to come back like right away as soon as you do find the Moon Pearl anyway, just for Hookshot Cave. And doing Super Bunny but not Hookshot Cave can make it feel like you don't want to go to Hookshot Cave now because it's less checks than it would have been. Alright, Malagord has his sword. Go to front of escape. Do it. I believe. He says no.
I think the first chest in Eastern here was money, but it's not really.
So at this point, I can only assume that all the players are just really down on the Dark Cross Dark Room, so they want to put off front of escape as long as possible to guarantee the chances, or to increase the chances of having the lamp for that if they have to do it. Bombos on Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that might be relevant later on, especially since Tower of Hera and Eastern Palace both easily accessible dungeons. That Bombos might be relevant later on.
I believe that Eastern was empty. or the logical parts of Eastern. In which case, progression is guaranteed to be front of escape right now.
Mhm.
We've seen everything else.
That means the lamp has to be in front of escape, right?
Well, it's most likely mountain access, so lamp or flute. I think with the gloves in hand, it's more likely to be the lamp, but you never really know. It could be the book with the lamp in desert or something even.
Or it could be the boots and the lamp is in the dig spot.
That's true, very true. Yeah, fetch quests are a thing. Cassidy very unhappy with that Eastern dive.
Honestly, I can't blame anybody to be unhappy with that Eastern dive. Especially because Cassidy did do the hospital play earlier on, so...
So Cassidy is going front of escape. Finally, we'll find out what's there. But I think that Etienne is in the best spot, unless it's the flute here in front of escape. But like I said before, I think lamp is much more likely.
We're also going to see what is in the waterfall cave here on Etienne's side. So, 2 new locations.
And of course, we need to keep in mind that the waterfall fairy check that Etienne is going to do is out of logic behind Death Mountain access.
Well...
Oh, what do you get? I missed it.
Cassidy got the flute in the very first chest in the front of escape.
That is bad news for Etienne. He will probably make his way there eventually, especially if the flute ends up blocking Darkbolt access in another location, right? Like behind the mire area. But it looks like Waterfall Fairy is going to be the play. Thinking Moon Pearl Waterfall Fairy. Right chest. That is my prediction.
Also, if I saw correctly, Armorless Knights have the last item in Eastern Palace.
Just to make the Eastern Palace dippers feel even worse. So Cassidy has his sword held out here as he's doing the flute activation, and this actually saves a few frames. He'll be able to call the bird just a little sooner than normal. Similar to how you would do a flute dash if you have the boots. The sword spin will accomplish that same effect.
And the Moon Pearl was in the waterfall cave.
Was it the right chest?
It was the left chest.
Darn it! I should get half credit.
You do know what this opens, though, right? All of these items.
Hammer and ice.
Yeah.
I knew you were going there. We don't mention things like that, okay? I want only good things for our runners. Give me Hammer and Mire Shed for once. I think probably the best place to go right away after getting the Moon Pearl is Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny.
Yeah, Edium is making the trek up the mountain.
It is very uncomfortable to go to like Village of Outcasts without the hammer, because while you can do everything in Village of Outcasts, and he can even full clear Skull Woods, there's always that chance that you're going to be locked out of getting an item in Thieves Town.
Yeah. And
once you've orphaned an item there, it is very difficult to make a decision to go back.
And Maligord is continuing through the front of escape. Cassidy saved and quitted out right at the second after getting the flute.
Yeah, it's an interesting call, because there's definitely one more item. Maybe 2. I'm not sure if they found the map. Did they find the map?
He did not find a map. The map has to be either in Zelda's chest or the Dark Forest. Or this one. I totally forgot about this one, yeah.
Alright, so last item in Zelda's cell. So Etienne finished up Super Bunny. I assume he got nothing. It looks like nothing, yeah.
We're gonna get a Dark World map check here. The full right side of the Dark World is pendants.
Not the worst pendants I've ever seen.
Yeah. So Pod and Pebble Rock are the non-green pendants, and I think that was Bombos for the entrance to TR. Kana Burna in Zelda's chest.
Hookshot Cave, do you love me?
Well, it's a heart piece, so yes.
Just a little bit. Oh no, a lot more.
Yeah.
Hookshot Cave not paying off.
Some explosive love.
Still, though, those are very efficient checks to get very quick to get over there with the hookshot. I would expect to see a Meyer Shed check next, but Etienne may just opt for Skullwoods.
Well, Atium still needs to do the front first.
He doesn't
to get the flute. Yeah.
Looks like he's just gonna go Skullwoods then.
Mhm.
Now, if he's been paying attention, he knows that he's out of logic behind the mountain access. He may be assuming it's the lamp, in which case, if you're comfortable enough with dark rooms, you don't really need that. But unfortunately, in this case, it is the flute that he's skipping. This can definitely come back to bite him, seeing as how Meyer is a crystal.
It's gonna route in the sick kit first before swapping over to the Dark World.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense since he doesn't have the mirror yet. Malagord found the Cane of Burna.
Yeah, that wasn't Zelda's chest.
That was Zelda's chest? Okay.
Just some sticks off of the sick kit. So we're gonna see our first transition into the Dark Village here.
Mechanix not going for the hookshot clip to get through Super Bunny Cave. It's a lot slower to go around like that, but it is a very tricky clip. Also, he doesn't have a moon pearl. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say he doesn't have the moon pearl to use it even. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he was doing the sequence break here.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadly, Super Bunny Cave not worth the time.
Now, I'm usually all about the sequence breaks. I love sequence breaking. It's the most fun part of the game. But this particular one, especially when you already have the hookshot, I can't really get on board with. But then Hookshot Cave was empty, so maybe that means Mac won't get punished. Etienne going straight to the back. He is not scared of this bug.
Yeah. I mean, with the red mail, you know, even Phytosaur Mocula not that much of a problem if you get hit. Even though the spikes still do a full heart of damage. But, you know.
Yeah, he definitely has the safeties he needs, but his offensive power is a little lacking at this time, so the fight might go on a little too long. And Mocula is a very RNG fight.
Yeah, does have a fairy in a bottle though, so even...
Oh, okay. Yeah, he should be fine then. Mac getting his Moon Pearl here in the left chest. And now he's thinking, oh my god, why did I do this Super Bunny sequence break? Why would I do that? Now Hookshot Cave is all by itself.
Castle's picking up the Pearl. Looks like Exium was very liberal with the usage of their Fire Rod. Does not have a lot left. I think it's like 2 shots.
Yeah, it looks like 2 shots.
Mocula sort of cooperative. Not playing too much to the ceiling.
Now it is 8 spins or 16 fighter sword swipes to kill this bug.
Yeah. And down it goes.
So good. What a pro.
It's just a map too. So both of the items, if I saw that correctly, are in the front of Skullwoods here.
I believe so, yeah.
But first blood for Etienne here.
Cassidy, let's go. We're going to the mire area. Hammer and Mire Shed, I believe. Do you believe?
I believe. I also believe in Wake Mire. Just so there's more of Bluestone. We're not going to see the medallion just yet, though. Oh, there it is. It's all the Bombos. Okay. We do know where Bombos is, so both of the medallion dungeons are available once we beat Eastern Palace and Telhara.
For Cassidy. Alright, so it looks like our hammer is confirmed to be in a horrible location.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a wide range of horrible, right? Like, I think in Thieves Town is not nearly as bad as in Ice Palace, but they're both pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. Could also be something really obnoxious, like just waste a lot of time, like Purple Chest.
Put it, you gotta, yeah, without the mirror too. Let's do that.
Yeah.
We want to be really mean.
I mean, it wouldn't be much of a problem for the other runners, but for Edium, who has not caught the flute yet, it would be a pain in the rear end. Oh, there's a powder.
Unfortunately, without the mirror or the hammer, Magic Bat is currently inaccessible.
Mm-hmm. And there's the second item, a heart piece.
So coming out of Skullwoods, my personal play would be to go over to Catfish with the flippers. It is logically accessible, and it puts off Thieves Town just a bit longer to avoid that hammerless situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it can also punish pretty hard, especially when you don't have the flute to get back to the Dark World real fast.
Yeah. So no cape required for this seed, as there's only a big 20 on the bumper ledge. And Mac and X is onto Mothula themselves. It's having a bit more problem with the patterns here. Mothula sticking to the spikes, but takes them down as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of RNG on that fight. The spikes, they're not friendly, but they are random.
All right,
so taking a ride with the Wallmass.
Oh, but Etienne finds, fittingly enough, a C-shaped item in the C-shaped house, the bow.
Oh, hammer's definitely fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The vanilla hammer. And some ammo in the chest game. In case we didn't have enough of that yet.
Cassidy and Malagord making their way to Mothula. I expect them to have as easy of a time as our other two runners too. Etienne saying no to Thieves Town.
Yeah, Hammerless still somewhat of an unattractive prospect, I suppose.
Yeah, I definitely see not finishing it, but to not do even the first 4 is a little unusual.
Well, at least the digging game was very merciful today, just 3 digs.
I wonder if he'll go back, and maybe he was just doing a dig game real quick to make sure the hammer wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go back.
Well, it could also pick up the Smith.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although that doesn't... I doubt he'll get the Smith, right?
No.
Okay. I would think he'd want to go to Pod. Unfortunately, when you go to Pod with the Smith following you, Kiki replaces him, and you'll have to pick up the Smith again.
I imagine that Etium is probably going to go to Stumpy and Hive Cave and then decide what's next. Yeah. There's a V-Twerp in a bottle.
Cassidy getting kind of low on life here.
Yeah, Cassidy's pattern is not very friendly at all. Malagor taking down Mothula. Oh, Cassidy will have... I think Cassidy still has the fairy.
Redmail was very helpful there.
Even though it doesn't...
I'm sure he's got it.
Yeah, even though it doesn't protect from the spikes.
Yeah, taking only half a heart from Mothula himself is pretty helpful. And in Hype Cave, we found the hammer.
The hammer.
Low-key, worst place ever for the hammer.
And lamp as well. So I didn't see what the NPC had, but hammer and lamp I think are decent finds. And Bambi's special shield as well.
All right, Etienne, do you go up to Catfish from here, or do you just say, let's do Pendant Pot?
I mean, it's Pendant Pot. It has to have something, right?
Oh, definitely. Especially with the early bow like that. I think he'll go to Catfish.
Yeah, it looks like Pyramid Legend to Catfish play. So the frog does get his world tour.
So at this point in the race, it does look like Etienne's ahead, but without the flute, it's really hard to say. Like he's getting these checks earlier than the other runners because he hasn't done front of escape, but he has to do front of escape.
And like a lot of runners seem to like to abandon front of escape once they're like fairly deep into the sea.
The escape is usually like a huge question mark for people who are new to open mode. Like if you're used to playing standard where you always do the escape and you don't have to worry about remembering it, it can be very difficult to remember to do it again. Mode seed. I'm sure Etienne is pretty practiced at open mode. I think he has it on the back of his mind. But
I'm sure
it look good enough to go there just for 2 items.
I'm sure Etienne knows that everything that they're doing here is out of logic. Because they still haven't found the item, or like the lamp is behind the items on the.
Do we know if he's been to Eastern?
I think they have not been to Eastern.
In that case, if he's been paying attention, he knows that there has to be progression in either Aegina's Cave, Eastern, or Front of Escape. So I expect to see him to go to Eastern really quickly here, and make sure that it's there or not.
Yeah. It's a crystal dungeon as well, so. And we do know that we definitely have to complete it because we need that bomb balls off of the pyramid there.
So Mac has given us that Thieves Town check. There was a key in the front though, so we can only hope for map or compass in the business now.
Have we seen either? I'm actually not
He'll
sure.
menu to bombs here in a second. We'll be able to tell. Blacksmith not paying off.
Ether is on some rocks. That is, I mean, good to know. And looks like ETM is also gonna do the magic bat here.
Quake
there's
medallion.
The third medallion.
I missed Mac's menu.
Yeah, that was so fast.
I was distracted. All right, come on, Malagord, open the menu. I believe.
I mean, we can also like have an eye on Malagord who's also in Feast on and doing the backside as well.
Maybe Mac will menu to powder to get a heal. Oh, getting the bad red Zazax RNG.
Ah,
Okay, I think he's definitely gonna menu to powder. Do it. Do it.
and all of our runners are converging here now.
He don't need no help. I missed Malagord's menu now. Alright, so we will never know where the map and compass are in this dungeon. Unless we were to watch ATM, I guess. Who is going to Thieves Town instead of Eastern? That makes a lot of sense. He was already in this area.
Malik got the compass, not the map. One of our trackers, Zenith Street, pointing out. So, I think
map is either on blind or in the big chest.
Yeah. We're gonna see momentarily if the big chest holds. Oh yeah, that's the compass in the fourth chest in the front.
So we're gonna sexy little blind fight here from Mac. Not exactly the scripted fight, but it's still pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, lucky break for all of the runners that are doing the back of escape without the hammer. Back of feast on without the hammer.
Nothing in the big chest.
Yeah, just a burrito.
Doesn't even look like a burrito. I don't understand this meme. It's a roll of parchment.
It kind of looks like a roll of like flatbread, so, you know.
Where oh where could these boots be? We definitely need the boots to get that bombos medallion.
Do we?
Isn't it on library?
No, that was the shovel. That was shovel on that.
Right. Okay. Where was Bombos?
Bombos was in Pyramid Fair.
Pyramid Fair. That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, we want the boots anyway. Give me the boots.
I mean, yes. I mean, obviously we want the boots, but you know, they could be in like Molder 2's chest for all we know.
The Pyramid Fair is actually logically accessible right now, although no player has finished Eastern or Hera.
Yeah. Yeah, we can complete Hera now that we have the hammer, and Eastern now that we have the bow and the lamp, at least logically speaking.
So going to Hera right now is kind of a big routing gamble. It's pretty inefficient to get to Hera using the hookshot and the hammer, especially seeing as how everybody has already done Dark Death Mountain and Paradox Cave and all that. And then even when you're up there, if you do make that gamble, you can't do Ether Tablet.
And possibly route the Spy Cave in.
Yeah, they would be able to get the Spy Cave, or at least Malagord would definitely be able to.
Yeah.
Mac getting his own hammer, catching up to Edium. Now, is Mac gonna show us Pendant Pod? I like Pendant Pod in this situation. I'm a big fan of following items, and when you have that bow, let's go, Pendant Pod. Mac says, yes, Pendant Pod!
Yeah, I mean, you have the hammer, you have the bow, you have the lamp. There's really... everything is just saying, go to pod, you know?
Alright, Cassidy showing us the blind script. Gets those first 6 hits very nicely. Can we get the last ones? 1. Oh, just a little off script. Still a quick fight, though.
Edium just confirmed for us that there is indeed the map on the big chest.
Fantastic news for Mac,
Yeah.
as well as Cassidy and Meligor.
Everybody but Edium.
So making this play over to Pod is a very, very fun gamble. If he gets nothing here, it feels like the race has already ended.
Mm-hmm.
But you find just one thing, and you're back in it, if not winning. But I think finding the hammer and the lamp so close together, and the bow already from Village of Outcasts, for me, it would be very hard not to make this play to go in here.
Yeah, I would say like early Dark World is basically screaming go to Pod. Etium, however, is gonna pick up that hammer and do the slow tags.
And make no mistakes, slow pegs are slow.
That they are.
Only a piece of art, though.
And Etium is picking up the purple chest. The unique item is in plain sight.
Well, that could be anything.
That might be the shovel. That might be the shovel
that's
with
true.
the
The
net.
shovel is
Yeah.
a unique item.
And the net as well. So
Not the most useful hint.
yeah, it's like I think we've seen just about every other plain sight item as well, outside of like Desert Torch and GT Torch. Well, there's the Ice Rod. May not be needed, but may be needed. There's a third bottle. So that's both of the front part of Pod items as well.
So, Pod continuing to be a question mark.
Oh, yes.
Etienne looks like he's going to make his way over to Eastern. It's a very, very nice, safe play here. It's only one item in Eastern, but you have to do it. It is a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't been here at all. So
yeah,
for him, it's 6 items to come over here.
Sadly for him, we know that the only potential useful item can be an armhouse. Otherwise, it's just rubbish.
At this point, though, even though Mac and Etienne, it feels like they're winning, like they're in the lead, I still like Cassidy and Meligord's spots better because of that flute. And until Mac and Etienne make that play back to front of escape, I'm very worried for them.
Mm-hmm. So Machinex, following the key logic, knows that the Harmless Hellway has to have a key. Or probably has a key, rather.
No, he knows.
yeah, right. The Dark Maze can't have a key, right?
Yeah, Dark Maze can't have a key at all.
Yeah. Okay, so I was right after him. Good.
Yeah, pod key logic is there's a lot of steps to it, but once you get like the gist of it, it's really easy to follow.
Oh,
only silver arrows.
So
silver arrows and the ice rod and pendant pod.
It's
like useful but not useful.
Yeah, like I mean, it depends. Like if there's something that we need on Trinex, I mean, it can only be the boots at this point, but maybe. And silver's not handy to have regardless.
I think Mac is making his way up to Hera. Yeah, he'll go to Hera. Now the ice rod can be required by the sea if something is on a pedestal or Trinex.
Trinex, yeah. I said the only progression item that can be on there at this point is the boots.
And which we of course have no knowledge of, whether it's required or where it is.
Or if we do find the book, then it could also be the mirror. So it could still come in handy, but yeah, probably not. So first item in Top Hera, as both Maligord and Mackin are in it, is a piece of art.
Green pendant is dead.
Yeah. Small key, that means that we're gonna have to go to the basement.
You know, the deeper we go in this seed without finding anything, the more I think Ice Palace has to be the answer. We still have the top of Hera that could have something, but Ice Palace is looking better and better by the moment.
Oh yeah, it could also be in Spike Cave, and I think Maligord will probably take that check once we're through with Top Hera.
Yeah, Maligord will. Mac, I think he'll have to use something in a bottle to get through that. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
This fairy.
I think he does, but I'm not sure either.
He does. We saw it on the menu just now.
Yeah, the bottle in Plod sadly was empty, so there's the big key.
No mirror, gotta walk back.
Yeah, no mirror, and with red mail, we're
yeah, death warping on red mail. Not, I would say.
Especially with the fairies, though.
Maligord trying to show off some sick boomerang strats, but misses twice. Bad man.
And we're also Armos Knights on Etium's side here. We're gonna see what they are holding in terms of the item. That's like the only other item we haven't seen out of this area.
Nice top right strat from Etium. Only gets a crystal though.
Yeah. A 5er for that, yeah. So the Eastern Sahasrara and everything just garbage, in essence.
As well as the top of Hera.
Yeah.
Who generated this seed again? Who are we mad at? Making me go to Pendant Ice Palace. Oh, Etium finally making his way back to the front of Escape, which is going to put him, I think, in a firm advantage.
Yeah. Etium also might give us a check for the Dark Cross chest, which we still haven't seen.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Nobody did that, did they?
Nobody did that. No, Maligord stopped after picking up Stella's chest, and Cassidy after taking the flute. So,
yeah, Cassidy left after one chest.
Yeah, we know there's one item in Dark Sewers.
Unfortunately, Etienne will have to Death Warp to get back to the front. And Death Warp on Red Mail. Of course, the Green Guards, they still do half a heart even on Red Mail, so it's not as bad. Yeah. But he has a pretty healthy heart count.
And picks up another heart from under the pot there.
He's still banking that all the items are right here. Mac opening the TR portal to get to the Dark World. Looks like he's going to head over to Spike Cave now.
Oh, it's not done hookshot kick yet either. That's right, because Mackin did the Super Bunny glitch earlier.
Well, that sequence break ends up not punishing him too much. Hookshot Cape ended up being empty anyway, but he got to pair it with other things on the mountain. And Etienne saving quits. Dark Cross continues to be a mystery.
Yeah.
Looks like Etienne's setting up to go up to the mountain. Maybe he'll do a Mire Shed check first, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely will activate the flute first and foremost. But yeah.
So we know from our perspective, because we've seen everything, that Ice Palace is looking pretty good.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, our runners are not going to make that play until they have exhausted everything that's nicer than that. And I do not blame them. So I do not expect to see anybody in Ice Palace until they have 4 crystals.
I mean, after beating, since we can beat both Eastern and Hera, after beating it, we can pick up Bombos. And that means technically the part, like the first part of Mire, yeah. I wouldn't unless I fell behind, but you know, it's
I might do it. I think my thought at that point is like, okay, so I go to Mire and say, you know, the best possible thing happens, and I get the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah.
So now what? Now I just Turtle Rock. Oh joy.
I mean, you could also have the mirror and the Cane of Samaria is the swamp.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and that's it in regards to item density. Like, we know that Sahasrahla himself doesn't have anything, but there's still 3 items in Ice Palace, so. And 2 from Mire. It looks like Etienne is Etienne has not been back to escape yet? Or no. Okay. It's
he's going back. He's going down Dark Cross. Yeah. This is his option instead of Death Warping. It's a good play.
Yeah, activated the flute and then just took the back to escape.
Mac's gonna have a pretty quick fight here with Armos.
Yeah. Alright, moment of truth. Oh, well.
I would probably do Pyramid Fairy and grab Bombos, but I think I would definitely go to Ice Palace. You have the Mitz Flipper's Hammer Fire Rod so much earlier than you could get to Bombos. And it just screams Ice Palace to me.
Yeah, I mean, we got like the Mitz fairly early, like basically everything we need for Ice Palace fairly early on.
Yeah, we could enter Ice Palace like as soon as we got Dark World access. We just had to go make that trip to High Cape for the hammer. Mac going to Dark Cross from the other direction. Or no? Where are you going, Mac? You've already been here. Did he dip out after he got the flute? Or did he not get the flute and the tracker just
I don't think Mackin has been before.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been here. He hasn't had the flute yet. The tracker just was a little quick on the draw. He has the flute now. We're good to go. Alright, Malagor getting his Bombos medallion. I would expect him to go to Mire after this, but like I said, I like Ice Palace here.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like item densities, Pendant Pot is still more preferable to Pendant Ice Palace, but
Oh, yeah, that's true. If he hasn't been to Pendant Pod, then
Yeah.
definitely Pendant Pod before Ice Palace.
And Maligord picked up Bombos from the Hermit Fairy. So, we'll dip into Mire, question mark?
Going Ice!
Oh, Ice
He's
Palace
taking the play! Maligord with the God Vision. Look at this guy. Man
Galaxy
after my
Brain
own
play.
heart. I love it. No, it's probably empty, right? Because I'm hyping it up so much.
I mean, maybe it has a good hint.
Yeah, I think ideally like a left side swamp pin or something.
Good start.
The boots are right here kind of hint.
Yeah. Good start, though, with the green hint right at the lobby.
Grumble, grumble.
Yeah, one of the quotes from Zelda 1. The many quotes.
Looks like we're gonna get some hookshot strats. Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Fighter, we still are on Fighter Spirit, by the way. So Master Sword is still actually an Gummo item we're looking for.
Definitely.
And that also could be on pedestal. So.
I have seen seeds that are that horrible. They've all been Plandos though.
I mean,
like 2 swords on the tablets and the last sword on like Lumberjack or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's unlikely, but you know, it's a possibility. So bombs underwater. Okay, so that's 2 out of 3 that are garbage.
So I expect to see the Ice Palace bomb jump here.
Oh yeah.
Not just because like that's typical routing for most people is to just do the Ice Palace bomb jump always, but without the Cane of Samaria, you'll need to do the Ice Palace bomb jump if a key is on Cold Stare.
Yeah.
Nails it second try.
Looks like Mac can also making the trip to the Hermit Fairy in the meantime.
Maligord opting to go to the hint tile first and come back up on the right side. I like this one. Unfortunately,
I mean,
a little bit of friendly advice.
Yeah, it isn't wrong.
Thanks, Ice Palace. You're a bro.
My favorite Ice Palace has been 3 green hints. I've seen that one before. That's like the most insulting. Had an Ice Palace, 3 green hints, and no useful items in it.
Mac gets his Bombos medallion. I expect to see him go to Catfish after this. As after that is a mystery. So now that we've seen the Ice Palace play, I want to see somebody make the Mire play.
I mean, Ice Palace so far has been a bust.
Yeah, right side Ice Palace not paying off.
There's still Cold Stare, Ice Tea Room, Big Chest, and that Spike Chest that Mali is gonna pick up momentarily.
First item in Ice Palace, 3 bombs. accidentally trying to clip with the hookshot into that staircase. He was just a little bit off.
Yeah, that staircase clip is not as easy as it may look.
Kana Samaria in Ice Palace.
Well, hello there.
The God Vision. Malagord takes a commanding lead until somebody else goes here. And then it's a wash. But anybody who decides to go to Mire before Ice Palace is going to be hurting.
Yeah, they're going to be very sad.
Even more so if there's something on Vitreous.
Yeah, imagine the mirror being on Vitreous.
Although, you know, now that I think about it, I bet it's even in a worse case to go to Mire first, and the mirror is in Mire but not on Vitreous, because then that unlocks like all these mirror locations that you think might have the Canis Maria.
And Swamp Palace as well.
Yeah, and the whole time it's just, oh, you should have gone to Ice Palace first.
Small key in Ice Tea Room. Which leaves us, I think, one item left in Ice Palace that has to be in Cold Stare.
But like I was saying before, like I'm not like a huge fan of people who say they did things because they were reading the logic, because that leads to some really bad decision making sometimes. But for me in this scene, I really felt like ice was definitely where the seed wanted me to go.
Yeah, like we had access to full clear Ice Palace so early on. Because we also got the hookshot really early on as well. So.
Alright, Mac is making the play as well, heading over to Ice. Good man.
We're on the Cold Stare. Dinosaur Cold Stare, not very fun.
I love that everybody gets the Bombos medallion and then goes to the place that didn't need Bombos.
I mean, it's a required item, so, you know...
I mean, nobody wants to double dip Mire. Double dipping Mire is so gross. Malagord opting for Hammer Strats, even though he has nearly a full bar of magic.
And it's not too hard, so he has to be careful now.
He'd have a much easier time using the Fire Rod first.
Yeah, I don't know why...
He switches now with 1.5 hearts left. Oh my god, don't die!
And he's out of magic.
He has the fairy though, he'll be fine. There you go. Good job.
Picks up the green pendant and just a big 20.
So, Cold Stare was nothing, but if he had died and had to orphan this, it would have felt really bad. So you got Canis Maria, you got Bombos, you got the hookshot, you got the flute, you got the mitts, you got a fire source. I think the play is pretty clear to everybody. Go to the mountain, exactly. So it looks like we've gotten pretty bottlenecked by this location. But coming here any earlier would have been worse.
Speaking of coming here any earlier, Cassidy is doing the Mire first play.
No, Cassidy! Cassidy doesn't believe in reading the logic either.
And we're going to see a spike cape check on ATM's side, which is also in a location we haven't seen yet.
This is a pretty risky gamble from Cassidy, but it's not really that much more risky than going to Ice Palace first.
Yeah.
The plus side of going to Mire first is that it being a crystal dungeon, you were going to come here anyway, so most of the time you're spending in the dungeon is a wash. It's just the time it takes to come back later that hurts.
Yeah.
Sword Beamless Mire 2. Pretty gross room, but Malagord handles it pretty well.
Yeah, we still haven't found another sword upgrade. Like, that fighter sword was very early on, but since then, nada.
So I fully expect Meyer to be empty.
I mean, yeah.
There are 2 items here, and one of them could be progression, but it's so much more likely that it's just empty and everything's in Turtle Rock. I don't think that I would go to Turtle Rock first. That's just crazy. But
yeah,
I wouldn't be too surprised to find nothing here.
Yeah, Turtle Rock. Dead in Turtle Rock is always gross. That's the map. First file up the chest. You're gonna see a full clear from Cassidy, except for Vitreous.
Yeah, he's pretty locked into this play.
Alright.
Come on, left side Meyer hint in Meyer. Let's do it. Tell me what's in the chest.
See what Etium is doing. Thinking. Etium also making the Meyer play.
Where's the hammer?
That's a lot of locations.
Interesting. Because there was not a unique item hammer locked in Ice Palace. And I don't believe Hammer Pegs was anything, and we know that the Big Chest in Thieves Town was nothing. So that just leaves Swamp and GT, and well, there was nothing on Pendant Pod, right? Nobody killed Helmosaur.
Nobody killed Helmosaur, yeah.
Not sure if he had an item though. I believe everybody except for Malagord has been to Pod.
Yeah.
Front of Meyer, not paying off for Cassidy. So that hint, unique item in Behind the Hammer. So in my experience, because there's a guaranteed boots hint, the more hints you check without finding one that you know is the boots, the more likely it is that the one referring to a unique item is the boots hint. So I'm thinking boots and swamp right now.
Yeah, that's very possible.
By far the most likely thing that hint is referring to. It could be the mushroom on left side GT, but it's probably boots and swamp.
Yeah, of course, that hint does not include Turtle Rock because of the I think it's the invert logic.
Right. Yeah, and inverted you can get through Turtle Rock with either the mirror or the hammer. So as far as like the hint tile, the way the hint tiles work, it won't include those as hammer lock locations.
I think we've seen everything except for Helmosaur and the Swamp Palace. And of course GT.
Don't ask me why, Geek Dog, but Mimic Cave does not count as a hammer lock location. I know you need the hammer to finish it, and you always need the hammer to finish it no matter what mode you're in, but it doesn't count. Talk to somebody in charge.
You know what that hint could be as a painful reminder though? For everybody but Etium?
What's that?
The big chest in Thieves Town.
No, it was map.
Oh yeah, that was the map. Yeah, that's right. So unless they miscounted the items, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been in that situation though. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the map, but that was like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
I've slept since then.
Alright, we're coming up on Vitreous here for Malagord.
Malagord, unfortunately, is the only one of our runners who did not go to pod yet and get those silver arrows. So this will be a much different fight for him.
Yeah, with a fighter sword, no less. So
looks like we're gonna go bombs and
threats.
arrows. This is by far the safest way to do this fight on this equipment, and it's still really dangerous.
Yeah, and it still takes a long time. Like
Red Mill helps a ton though.
Yeah,
these eyes will only do I think 2 hearts of damage instead of 4.
Yeah, but sadly the bombs don't do as much damage. Like you still will need a whole bunch of arrows to take down the small eyes.
Yeah, I expect he'll save 8 arrows for Vitreous himself.
Yeah.
And if he runs out of arrows before that point, he'll just switch to fighter sword spins.
I mentioned Burna first, maybe.
Yeah, Burna would be a good item.
Okay.
Alright, he got 9 arrows left. He's got this.
Yeah.
Easy fight, easy life.
Can't even do the victory arrow.
Doesn't know what to switch to. No mirror. that habit, that menuing habit. To answer Orphanox, as we were saying earlier, no, TR will not count as Hammerlock because of inverted existing. Maybe in a future version of the game, they'll separate it by mode. But,
yeah, they are looking at overhauling the hint system as far as I know. So
I think last I heard it was getting delayed to V32.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to focus on some other things for V31.
Yeah, I know that they're adding the Fire Rod porch locations as not counting as dark rooms.
The hints in general have been a very polarizing aspect or addition to the game. I think in general they're a very positive thing for the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe most everyone agrees that they could use some tweaking at the very least.
Oh yeah. Yeah, at least stuff like redundant hints and stuff that like you find the say the Turtle Rock hint says where the Moon Pearl is.
So Malagord finished his Mire, and I thought he might go to Turtle Rock next after Bombo Slit and nothing there, but he's opting to do Smith Sequence without the mirror first.
And Etium and Cassidy both in Ice Palace now. So both of them will get the King of Samaria soon. Also, I mean, more or less, Smith Chain, a bit of a pain, but with the flute, a bit less of a pain, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely helps a little bit.
And it certainly is like, if there is something on the Smith Chain, it saves you going to Turtle Rock, so, you know. Now it also might perhaps opt going into a pen and pod that has not been something.
Yeah, I could definitely understand going to pen and pod before Turtle Rock in this situation. Yeah. I'm really curious if there was an item on Helmosaur, or if everybody just didn't want to make the trip to the boss. Because Helmosaur is a Hammerlock location.
Yeah. And Malagord is making the trip independent pod now. So we can actually, you know, keep an eye on Malagord's side and see if
yeah, he'll tell us for sure, because in Malagord's situation, if there is an item on Helmosaur, it makes a lot less sense for him to leave. Where everybody else did this so early that they had a lot of other things they could go do. Mm-hmm. Where Malagord's pretty much down to TR and pod.
Yeah. And
then with that hint as well, knowing that Helmosaur is hammerlocked, if it does have an item, he'll definitely do that. This is also a nice dungeon to go to when you just ran out of bombs fighting Vitreous.
It's true.
To answer chat real quick, no, we do not know where the book is. We have seen no hint or sign of it whatsoever. Same goes for 3 swords. Etium getting the spin into the staircase. Very nice.
That clip is so spiffy.
I think my success rate is like 1 out of 10 tries. It does save about a second versus like the hammer strat. It looks like we're finally getting a TR play from Machinex.
Yeah, Machinex has been to Pod already, so between Travel Rock and Ice Palace, it's a reasonable play, I would say. Especially knowing that Ice Palace, the green pendant doesn't hold anything of value either.
Well, yeah, well, he's actually already been to Ice. He just left Cold Stare behind.
Oh, yeah, he does have Cane. Yeah.
And Cold Stare did have an item, so from Machinex's point of view, that item could have been progression, because Cold Stare as well is a Hammerlock location.
Yeah.
Pretty big gamble to leave Cold Stare behind, I would say. Ice Palace is by far one of the worst dungeons to have to double dip.
Absolutely, yeah.
Luckily for Machinex, he'll never have to go back there.
But this is going to be the moment of truth here for to see if the mirror or whatever item we need progress, if it's the book or the boots or what have you, are in the TR.
For a runner's sake, I'm really hoping it's just the mirror. And the desert is not boots locked. Another unique item requires the hammer hint.
Oh,
The front of TR.
that's just rubbing it in at this point.
Thanks, Vitor. We actually found a hint for green pendant, Surger.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
not
capped. Oh, what's bombs? I don't remember. Rubbish either way.
I don't know. When I play the game, I only see progression and not progression.
Yeah.
I could have checked Lumberjack 5 seconds ago. If it was not a progression item, I have no idea what's there.
And Maligord getting their Ice Rod and their third model. We'll be getting the Silver Arrows soon. So there was no dungeon items in the front that we missed. Megan taking the safe way through this roller room.
I don't blame them. Those rollers hurt.
Yeah, even with I think they the red mail does not mitigate the damage of those.
No, it does. It's just they do so much damage that it still hurts.
Because I remember, like, I wasn't sure because the spikes don't reduce damage.
I think rollers are 4 hearts on green mill, but then 3 blue, 2 red.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Pretty clean chain chomper. I see him fighting Cold Stare. He has run out of magic and health and opts to use the blue potion. Don't blame him.
Yeah, stocked up on potions before coming here, so.
Hammerlock Cold Stare, unfortunately, not paying off. Unless it's Pedestal. And make no mistake, guys, Pedestal is alive. Both the mirror and the boots can be there.
That is correct. As can be the bulk if we do need that one. Or the Master Sword, I guess.
That's also true. Yeah, if there are two swords on both, if there's a sword on both tablets, then you have to have the Master Sword to finish them. So wherever that Master Sword would be required to get.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's really unlikely for there to be two swords on the tablets. So if there is a sword on pedestal, you don't just go to pedestal. You look for this another sword somewhere else.
And Malagord did save and quit out of pod, which means that it looks like Helmsor doesn't have an eye.
Yeah, it looks that way. Or he's just gambling and I wasn't paying attention. I think since everybody skipped Helmsor, he probably does not have an item.
Yeah. Alrighty, big chest.
Turtle Rock pretty empty so far, but this is pretty normal for Turtle Rock. Everything's always on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, because like there always has to be like a lot of keys up before Laser Bridge, so it's not unlikely to find just the rubbish first, and then on Laser Bridge and Trinix all the goodies.
So one possibility is like mirror in Turtle Rock, at which point you're in maybe go mode, right? Because you don't know if the boots are required. But at that point, do you kill Trinix or do you mirror to Mimic Cave first?
Oof.
Or do you just leave and say the boots aren't required?
I mean, Desert is a crystal, and of course, there's always the chance, of a cheeky key on the torch. So
yeah, it's actually a pretty good chance.
I mean, we know that, but we don't need what's under the bonk rocks, but we might need what's in the Kingston as well. So, or what's on the dig spot, because we do know that the shovel is in the library. So, well, that's item number 1.
The book on Laser Bridge.
Oh.
So, assuming you get nothing else here, the very first place you go after this is pedestal. Well, Ether Tablet and then pedestal.
First Ether Tablet, then pedestal, and then
desert.
No,
you wouldn't go to Ether Tablet because you don't have the Master Sword. Well, we got the mirror. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then, in which case, I'm not so worried about the book anymore.
Yeah.
There is an item on Trinix, but Mac leaves to go to Mimic Cave. All right. He's going to have to go back through the Samaria maze once more, but he'll have the assurance that Mimic Cave is not going to burn him.
Yeah, we'll also not have to clear the chest in Laser Bridge anymore as well. He can just go straight to Trinix, unless he wants the safety door.
And with the mirror in hand, checking Ether Tablet before leaving the mountain makes a lot more sense, since you could just walk over there. He's fluting away? No. Are you that crazy? He's that crazy! Oh my god. Item on Friday. Max says no. I already left Helmsor behind. Might as well leave Trinix behind too. I don't need no pendants. Let's go Desert Palace. Please don't be Bootslog. Please don't be Bootslog. Please don't be Bootslog.
Yeah, with both mirror and book hinting heavily towards desert, Let's see here. I mean, there's still the Hammerlock item that we haven't seen yet. And at this point, it can only be the boots, the cape, or the mushroom. Or maybe the single arrow. I don't think we've seen that one yet.
I think you are correct. And it is... Bootslog! Alright, so I don't know what Mac's gonna do, but I'm thinking swamp. We gotta go swamp. Hammerlock item.
The fact
gotta be swamp, right? Boots
I
and
mean-
swap. Let's go.
What's it swamp? I mean, it has to be, right? Oh man, imagine if it wasn't the Helmosaur and everybody was just like, nah, I'm not gonna do Helma. Oh.
Now, of course, guys, we do not know that unique item that's hammerlocked is the boots. It's just really, really, really likely to be the boots.
No, the desert hint did literally say boots are hammerlocked.
Oh, did it? So
Yeah.
we had 3 unique item as hammerlock hints, and one of them was specifically boots.
Yeah.
That's
2
interesting.
yeah, they can overlap for some reason.
Yeah, hints can be doubled, and each time the hint is placed in the game, I think it's a 50-50 chance it'll be explicit or just says a unique item.
The boots hint said the boots are locked by hammer.
Then I have no idea why Mac is checking checkerboard, because boots are go mode. Well, he still needs a sword.
Sword, yeah.
I don't know. I think for me, this late in the game, there's a sword in GT.
Yeah, probably, but
I'm sure he doesn't want to do Master Sword Cannon, but you know, you do what you gotta do, right?
I'm sorry, chat, but boots cannot be on ped. We already know that it has to be a hammerlock, which ped does not count as.
Yeah, I think the only possibility for pet at this point is a Master Sword, but
Yeah.
it's really unlikely that there's not another sword available somewhere else.
Or a master
With
mushroom.
with every runner leaving Helmosaur behind, I doubt we'll even see a pet check, much less a...
Yeah, especially since everybody already went through Skull Woods as well.
Cassidy finding the Master Sword in the bomb lock chest in Swamp Palace. So, just like this, out of nowhere, Cassidy, coming from behind, has the lead.
Yeah.
Except for Meyer. Rip. Never mind. In that case, Mac's ahead. Cassidy's still in a great spot, though. And when you have only Master Sword or only Fighter Sword, dying because fights take too long is a very real possibility. Etienne, with his mirror in hand, it looks like he's going to go to Desert as well, find out that it's locked. Malagord not too far behind, making his way to Laser Bridge where he'll find that mirror. While Cassidy and Mac going through Swamp, trying to find those darn boots.
Yeah.
Oh, Cassidy says left side.
Forgets that he has to pick up that key.
They missed the key. Oh, poor Cassidy. Cassidy, not deterred though, still convinced left side is the play. Now, when we're talking about hammerlock locations, that is everything in Swamp past that first 2 chests.
Yeah.
Including left side.
Yeah, the only chest, or the only item location it cannot mean is the bombable wall chest. Since the first chest is only, always a small chest. Unless Kisanity, but we're not playing Kisanity, luckily.
Right. We have some route divergence. Max saying it's not left side, or at least hopes it's not.
Yeah.
This can definitely be a difference maker. So Cassidy's a little bit behind Mac right now because he'll still have to go back to Meyer and finish off Vitreous. But if Mac has the full clear swamp and Cassidy gets the boots and dips out right away, that definitely cuts some time off this.
Mm-hmm.
So Etiem's going to Swamp. Did he go to Desert already to find out it's boots locked?
I think so, but I'm not sure. One of
Malagor's only there right now. But
one of our trackers, shout out to them, by the way, Demonstrated for Sundra. But Druid saying, yeah. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Oh, unless they're an Argus,
Mac is getting nervous. But so is Cassidy. Are they not here? Is it not here? Ah! Why do you do this game? Why you do this?
The tension.
So I'm pretty sure Helmosaur just didn't have an item, and that's why everybody left it. But it is possible that they all decided it wasn't worth the time. Alright, we'll see Cassidy's check first.
At least for Cassidy, has to pass the big chest anyway. But there
left side required. Cassidy, where are you going? Stop. Stop. Cassidy.
Why? It's a crystal.
Cass, please, Cass. Oh, is it a crystal?
It is a crystal,
Never mind.
yeah.
Go, Cassidy, go! You got this! This whole time I thought it was a pendant.
Oh no, Cassidy! Cassidy's so excited to get the boots that they forgot to push the statue far enough for the switch. Argus down, Compass. Yeah, this is gonna be...
Well, that actually ruins what I was saying earlier. Well, because I was under the impression it was a pendant and that Cassidy would be able to skip the whole back that Mac had done. But with the boots being on left side, that just means that Cassidy is not further behind. But yeah, Cassidy still is not ahead. Because Mac's just going to do left side now.
Mac, he's going to lose a little bit of time, of course.
Yeah, Cassidy did shorten the gap a little bit, but not nearly enough for to make up back to Vitreous.
So far, every runner has been to Mar. Etium and Cassidy have not cleared it yet, though. Since they didn't have the Cane of Samaria. So they couldn't get to Vitreous. And Cassidy doing the double focus strat with the massive sword spin. And Etium 2 is hoping that the boots are on Argus rather than on the left side.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with it being a crystal.
Yeah.
Like if I was routing this and I'm only one item from go mode, I'd probably skip everything and just go straight to Argus. Like only do the flooded chest and the waterfall chest, and then after I don't get the boots, then I start doing everything on the way back with left side being last. I'd be very tempted to skip the chest that had the Master Sword though, since I know it's not hammer locked. I would get super punished for a play like that.
Alrighty, Cassidy taking down Argus is gonna flute to my area most likely, and then finish those two dungeons.
Yeah, Cassidy's our first player in go mode. Probably desert first? No, going back to Mire. Yeah, that makes sense, because then you can just mirror after killing Vitreous and walk to the front.
Yeah, Cassidy just has to walk to Vitreous here. As will Etium once they beat Argus.
Yeah, the Vitreous walkback isn't the longest of all the dungeons, but it's one of the longer ones for sure. I think it's about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, a big chunk goes to that one room with the whiz ropes and the popos. And Mackin also in go mode now. Can't clear ice, desert palace. And yeah, I would say Mackin is slightly ahead here.
Yeah, he'll be getting to land mode during Cassidy's Vitreous fight.
Yeah.
So just a little less than a dungeon ahead.
Yeah. I imagine that it's still going to be a close race between all four runners here, actually.
Yeah, I'd say on the whole, the seed was trolly, but not in a way that causes a lot of variance. Oh, that's such a dangerous thing to do, Mac. Okay, so if you didn't know, if you mirror on the same frame that you catch an item off a torch, your game breaks.
Uh-oh.
And not in a good way that you can just save and quit out of. In a I have to reset the console kind of way. So if you are catching an item off a torch and mirroring right after, make sure you finish catching it, then mirror. Alright, so Cassidy finishes the Vitreous fight, gets that crystal, and now follows Mac into Desert. Here, we can find the difference between them. Let's mark the time when Mac enters the land mode fight. I'll write it down so we don't forget.
Uh, 1:36:44.
Mark, or should I say Mac?
With Silver Arrows, of course, one shot to the head to each of the worms. And they give us a mushroom for good measure.
Salt in the wound!
And now that Mackin has picked already, Chet's already spamming now that Mackin has picked up the 7th crystal, that means we're going to play a game. And it's going to be the Ganastar Vicky game. So there are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower in which the Vicky can be. And we like to play and guess where it is. Koi, where do you think it is today?
You know what? I in a race setting like this, I want the runner who's ahead right now to win. So for me, I really want it to be either like right away, Hope Room or on the torch, or at the very end in Tower Room. Anything that will make GT routing not a big deal. So Cassidy is about a minute and 15 seconds behind Mac at the moment. Saves a little time on the Lambo fight. It was a very nice Lambo fight. And more so than just the big key routing, but just execution through Ganon's Tower when you're on the Master Sword, that can make a huge difference coming up.
Unless, of course, our runners get the merciful Tempered Sword very early on.
Mac currently has the lead, but it is by no means locked in, you know?
Yeah.
I think like the worst difference in GT routing could equal like a 4 or 5 minute difference. Maybe less. Maybe like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, if say the big keys in the random room, you have one runner go left from the very start and one runner to Dark Magician. That could equalize it.
So how you feel about your position in the race can definitely change your mind on how you want to route GT. And while we know that Mac is ahead, I really doubt that he feels ahead.
Yeah.
Looks like he's doing standard Hope routing. Going to Hope Room first. No small key. He'll continue to full left.
Alrighty.
Malagord is standing still. Okay, he's back. Maybe
Might have
he
been
can
just I need
answer
to
the phone or the door or something.
Alright, so that was 1 through 3. Torch only having a small key for us. So this is 4 through 6.
Southwest room not paying off.
Yeah.
So with no small key on the in the hope chest, the only other routing choice that anybody could reasonably make is a dark or pink magician, which is where they go to the Southwest room first.
Mm-hmm.
Cassidy unfortunately making the same routing choices as Mac, so no time to gain from that.
Yeah. Unless indeed Cassidy decides to do the darker pink magician strats.
Yeah, it's really unlikely though, after you've already been to Hope Room.
Alright, Fire Snake Room has just some bombs. That was number 9?
Cassidy hammering the top and bottom pegs. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. It is definitely worse. But I wonder if he always does it like that, or if he just accidentally hookshot it across.
Well, there's the 2 shield upgrades here in TT. There's the Tempered Sword. So almost fully decked out here.
So you feel pretty good about going over to Random Room. You didn't find the big key, but at least you found a sword.
Yeah, and Lag Shield. Coming up is Bob's chest, which is going to be 14. Sadly, we're not going to see Bob today because Mackin decided to bonk the key off the torch.
Nice bonk there, and another one there. Good job.
Yeah, I really like bonking across that gap.
And there's our unique item.
Yeah. Ice Armos with single silver arrows, blanket, and blanket you miss it. Alrighty, is it gonna be
fight there?
Yeah, it was very, very nice. Is it gonna be here, or do we have to go? Oh, vanilla location.
Vanilla.
Is this even randomized? And adorned by 2 red rupees.
So as long as nobody does like Pink Magician, everything, all the routings will end up there at a reasonable amount of time.
Even if they do Dark Magician, they are even going to be faster a little bit, but they're going to miss out on the Tempered Sword. The Malagord,
that's pretty like mimic kill right there.
Malagord taking the track to Ganon's Tower now as well, while
accidentally hops off the ledge. Oh.
Yeah, I think wanted to get around the dead rock, but
clean dash to the crystal switch room.
Yeah. And Etium also picking up the last crystal, so will be hot on Malagord's heels here.
Alright, so this is the gauntlet. This is where execution makes or breaks you. Nice room 1.
Honestly, I like the Stalfos rooms a lot less than the Sazak rooms.
Oh yeah, definitely. Very clean Stalfos room from Mech though.
Yeah, that was
and not the worst RNG on those Sazaks. The bad RNG on the dash.
Yeah.
But he recovers nicely. Switches to fire right here? Nope, just goes for the dash.
There we go. On to line mode 2.
Nice.
Oh, clean 1 cycle. And Cassidy is now making their way up the tower. We'll be going into the gauntlet.
Nothing we can do but just wait for something to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like the run or the race is in Mac's hands right now. The only person who can beat Mac is Mac.
As one would say, it's Mac and X's race to lose at this point.
Now he is pretty well equipped for Ganon, but
oh yeah,
anybody can fall at any time. It does not take that big of a mistake to suddenly see yourself falling off the ledge.
We'll take the fairies here in the refill room. And onto Moldorm 2. Let's hope that the...
Oh!
Well, I was about to say let's hope that the pattern is good, but immediately gets bounced off. Commentators curse before I even can say it.
So that bodes well for Cassidy, but it's still a pretty big gap.
And gets in on the second try here. Moldorm very cooperative then. Yes, he really just wanted his last say.
Just eyeballing it, I think Cassidy's going to be in the Ganon fight before Mac finishes it. So, like, a Phase 4 fall could completely switch the lead.
I mean, it's also a bit dependent on how the runners deal with the patterns of Aghanim. If he's giving us bad patterns...
A nice, clean pattern.
Well, I mean...
or my Aghanim heights never look like this.
You know, right?
I always get the one where like Aga's in the corner and then he's got a copy above and to the side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I supposed to deal with this? Come on. Man.
Yeah, it's a and of course he shoots blue balls too, like he himself. So, but that was a very, very nice double triple here from Mackin. So.
Absolutely. Well, I think I was wrong then. I think Mac can kill this before Cassidy gets there.
Yeah, it's possible.
I wasn't expecting that quick an Aga fight.
I mean, imagine that Cassidy will at least be 2 Aga before
definitely
Mac takes out Ganon, but
Mac not going for the 1-in-1 strat, but this will be a pretty quick phase 1. 2-in-1, still pretty good. Going for burnish strats to make sure we get the 2-in-1. It is laggy. It does cost some time to switch to burner like this, but it's definitely faster than getting a whole nother cycle.
And Malagord getting their big key, while Cassidy is getting into the Aga 2 fight. I think that also was triple for them. Yeah.
Didn't get the second one though.
Very, very good patterns for him though today. Gotta say.
Nice torch glitch.
I think Cassidy might be into the Ganon fight as
gets the double from the side.
Oh, nice. That was nice. Yeah, and I imagine
getting Ganon down.
GG's. Yeah, I imagine it's gonna be basically Mackin crosses the bridge as Cassidy drops into the pyramid, more or less. And
GG's.
GG's. Mackin X finishing in third place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 22 seconds. First place finishes Ravis 10 with an amazing 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 1 second. And Frostbite World second place, 1 hour, 47, 28. So GG's to the 3 first placers. And we're gonna have Cassidy Moen very close behind here as well. Honestly, all of the runners are very close behind this.
Yeah, the seed on the whole didn't offer a lot of variation. It was mostly just going to Mire before Ice being the big difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, like, I don't think both Malagord and Etienne did that, but Cassidy did. And it's still gonna finish before they did.
Yeah. Etienne did dip Mire before Ice, but Malagord did not. I think Malagord was did a very late pendant pod. And Malagord, hold on, did Malagord? Yeah, he's on Master Sword, so Malagord did not.
Pink Magician or
Dark Magician? Yeah.
Oh! Okay, we're good.
And Cassidy takes on Ganon. We'll be finishing up here in just a few moments. Meanwhile, Etienne is really struggling with that one Zazak room here with a really bad pattern. Oh, there, the second, or the last start was in the Witch's Hut on the mushroom.
Oh, fun.
Alright, Cassidy Moen. GG's finishes in 5th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 15 seconds. Getting sniped for that 4th place by Chisame, finished in 1 hour, 50, and 37. So GG's to both of you.
You can definitely see how the Ganon's Tower execution / RNG really made a difference between the runs. Because Cassidy was only like a minute and 15 seconds behind entering Lammo, but ended up being about 2 minutes behind killing Ganon.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
And not all of that's in your control, but you know there are things you can do for every RNG pattern you get.
Yeah.
How
And
you doing? GG's.
GG Mackin.
Yeah, thanks guys.
So, you finished first on the restream and 3rd overall. Feeling good about that?
Yeah, it's better than I expected, really. I felt really behind when in the early game. I never got anything going there. You know, dipping Eastern didn't get me anything. Going all the way to Zora without the flippers really didn't yield me anything. And getting the flippers basically 10 minutes after. To find the Moon Pearl at the only place I couldn't check back there. So yeah, I felt really behind. But that's basically the reason why I was so eager to dip those pendant dungeons, just to make up some lost time, which kind of worked out, I guess. Pod didn't really have anything except for the silvers, but the other 2 pendant dungeons were, of course, very much necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the god vision would be to just skip Pod entirely.
Yeah, exactly.
Who would do that when your only other option is green pendant ice?
Yeah. Well, I had a feeling something was going to be in there, but I just didn't want to make that dip, the dip that early. You know, Pod has 5 items. It's a lot quicker to check. And I just found the lamp and the hammer right before I went into Pod, so it's basically my Palace of Darkness starter package right there.
Yeah.
Can you confirm for us, did Helmasaur have an item? None of the restreamers did the fight, but we never managed to see.
No, he did not. He had either the map or the compass.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought so, but we weren't sure.
Yeah,
And,
well, I kept count, so the silvers was the last item in the dungeon.
Right. And both Malagord and Etienne on Aghanim 2, very close to each other, actually. They're basically just one cycle apart.
Yeah, Etienne has made up a lot of ground.
Oh, yeah.
after that unfortunate mire before ice.
We're going into Ganon on both Etium and Malagord's side, so there's still a race to be had here. Who's gonna beat Ganon first? Probably Etium, because Etium does have the Silvers and the Tempered Sword, but a fault Ganon alone would most likely
Etium has a little bit of a lead, but Malagord being a sword down is it's a pretty big time loss, even if like you did optimal like Canis and Mario strats.
Also, one of our trackers, Venus Druid, saying that Etium pulled ahead of Malagord actually during TP, so it's always very cool to see like leads change like that.
Oh yeah, it's very true. Like the execution through Ganon Tower is so vital in running this game, because it's basically the only place you will always do in typical settings.
And Etium on phase 3, while Malagord does get the good pattern with Ganon being in top right. And takes down Ganon.
Nice finish from Etium.
Yep. As Malagord enters phase 3 of the fight. Silver's Master Sword is... Oh, he does have Silver's. Even still, Master Sword Ganon is not the most fun.
So did Malagord go full right to miss that Tempered Sword? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we believe he did a Dark Magician.
Yeah, it must
have wasn't a key in the Hope Room.
Yeah, he must have done Dark Magician. Alright, Etium finishes in 7th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 27 seconds. Before him, Obscure Lifeform in 6th. And GG's as well to Malagord finishing up here. So
we did it! Success!
All of our runners within like 10 minutes of each other. Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, and it's really a testament to this seed. Because even though it was so many items that were in such horrible locations, the whole seed was so bottlenecked. Like, so often you only have like 1 or 2 options of places to go, which leads to a seed that doesn't have as much variance between the runners. So primarily the difference between all the runners that you see is going to be execution.
Yeah, and Malagord finishing in 9th place with an official sell time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, 56 seconds. Just sniped for 8th by less than 10 seconds. Matt 7898 in 8th place with 1 hour 56 and 48 seconds. And I do want to read out the cute little comments there. Etium saying fun seed, while Malagord says it's official. Etium doesn't know what fun means.
No, yeah, this is a terrible seed.
GG Etium, who's joining us here.
I enjoyed it.
It
was having late boots and late mirror means you kind of have to route carefully. So it's kind of interesting, I think.
I really liked it from like a racing point of view. Like, because it felt like your gambles paying off or not paying off didn't matter as much because so many items were in so many terrible places. But comparing it to like, say, one of the better seeds I've run, this seed was really terrible. 2 required pendants, and the one pendant you actually didn't mind going to only had the silvers.
As I was getting deeper into Turtle Rock, I was starting to think pedestal, but Laser Bridge killed that idea.
Every
Yeah,
one of the
Boots
restream
could
runners
have still
skipped
been there.
Helmsword.
All of them, or
Yeah.
All of the restream runners skipped out on Helmsword, seeing as how we didn't have an item. Nobody
And,
was worried about Ped.
Trinix as well, despite having an item.
yeah. I mean, I was slightly worried maybe boots were on Ped, but I had at that point like 2 different hints that a unique item required the hammer, so I figured that meant boots were in swamp.
Right.
Yeah, and then the desert Hintal confirmed it anyway. I don't
Yeah.
think you saw that, but or did you? I'm actually not sure if you
I did. I went to check desert before going to swamp to
Yeah.
see if I could go mod swamp, but obviously I couldn't.
You didn't think about just go moding it anyway and hoping it was on the boss?
No.
That's
figured-
how I would route it. I'd like go straight to the back, skip the bomb lock chest, skip the south chest, skip left side, just do waterfall and flooded room. And
Well, I figured like it was probably in the big chest because those require the hammer hints. Those often mean the swamp hell's big chest.
yeah, it's
so,
a factor of how the hint tiles work. So
Yeah.
the Swamp Palace Big Chest is one of the locations that is from a different subset of locations than everything else. Like one of the terrible locations, like Mimic Cave or the Mushroom. So when you find, but when that hint is chosen, it can choose the terrible location format where it says the Swamp Palace Big Chest, or it can choose anything else that also means the Swamp Palace Big Chest, such as Hammerlocked.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why when you see something is underwater, it's usually catfish.
Yeah, I think the only thing I really could have done differently was going to ice before Mire. Like
Yeah.
basically my choices were like going to pendant ice, and I know the green pendant is dead already, or dip into Mire. I figure double dipping Mire is not that bad, really, especially if the big key is late. Since if the big key's late, you have to full clear it anyway. So I decided to gamble on Mire, even though it's one less item.
Yeah, the options were not really like all that. Like there was always like one item that kind of bottlenecked, and there was never like really all that many options, regardless of where you were in the sea. Like at that point, it was like ice or Mire, you know, or pod, I guess.
Yeah. Definitely got kind of linear towards the end. Everyone, I imagine, was sort of bottlenecked by Ice Palace. Unless, I don't know if anyone dove it really early, but...
No.
Yeah.
And we have Maligor joining us here for our chat as well. GG's Mally.
Thanks, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
GG's.
All right. Who rolled that seed?
I don't know. I don't have to log for that. I'd probably Fear Agent if I had to get.
It was, hang on.
It was Rudolph.
Rudolph
Oh.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So go
And
get him.
I think they're still going, actually, if they're playing it.
I think so. Yeah.
He deserves what he gets.
Serves him right.
Well, that was fun. I mean, it could have been better if if you go Turtle Rock before Pod, but it's kind of a 50-50 there, and I picked the wrong one. I think many people did.
Everybody really went in pot, so
Yeah, looking at the time
Yeah.
differences on the finishes so far, it looks like Ravis might have skipped pod, or he's just that much better than everybody else.
yeah.
But it looks like
probably
everybody
Scott.
else.
Yeah, I mean, the only way you
standard
can
routing.
have that time was by gambling ice before pod.
I
guess,
noted-
well, there was a hint in Swamp Palace. I don't even know why I checked it. But it said unique item is in Ice Palace. So
Yeah.
maybe he checked that hint and decided to go for that. And if I had that hint earlier, I probably would have gone into Ice Palace before Mire.
And if I remember right, the cane wasn't behind the hammer, so
Yeah.
you could have gone to ice without the hammer and not been punished by it.
Yeah, but I don't think you could have got the swamp hint. I guess if you went in there before
There were
You
3
can-
different boots hints in this seat.
I
Yeah.
always check that swamp hint before I get the mirror.
You can get that swamp hint. You don't have to drain the dam to get that hint. You can just climb the ladders down.
I think that the seed wanted you to get boots, since there were, by my count, 3 boots hints in this
Yeah.
seed.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was 2 unique items required a hammer, and one that straight up said the boots required a hammer.
Yeah, that unique one needing the hammer, I found that twice, and I'm like, well, I guess that's the boots. But hopefully.
Yeah.
And where were the swords?
So the sword, one of the swords you missed by doing Dark Magician because there was one in Random Room.
I was
and,
actually worried about Bob's chest. I don't know if you noticed, but when I went through Bob's chest, I screwed up, and the bomb exploded before I could get that chest, and I'm like, oh no.
No, it was Bob's chest was nothing. So no worries there. It was in Random Room, and the 4th sword, as we saw in the credits, was on the witch.
Behind that mushroom
Yeah.
lamp.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting that. That mushroom looks late.
And yeah, so that's where the swords were. But yeah, very fighter sword through most of the seed though. That's always a joy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the seed was going to be just fine, especially once you got up to a Paradox Cave. You had your flippers, your fire rod. You were able to route nicely through Southern Dark World. But man, just those last couple items.
This is my second seed in a row with Hammer and Hype Cave.
Yeah,
low-key the worst place for the hammer.
What's very interesting though is that the seed was kind of like saying, okay, go to Ice Palace very early on. Like we got all the as we got Dark World Access, Moongirl was the last item that all of you found. Ice Palace was open and completable.
Yeah, I almost went to Ice Palace actually before going up to Tower of Hera, but I figured I'll go to Tower of Hera first because I can get Bombos and then I can have access to either Mire or Ice, and maybe I'll find the cane while I'm up there. But didn't work out that way.
Yeah, that Bombos hit was pretty good. It told you to get to Eastern and Hera pretty quick.
Yeah, that hint, and luckily, quote unquote, luckily, since Telework also required it, both dungeons needed the Bombos medallion, so the other medallions weren't even worth the thought. We did get a hint where Ether was though, so that was interesting.
Yeah, you needed the Bombos to get into 3 different dungeons.
Yeah.
Actually, you didn't need it for Ice Palace, but it helped.
Yeah, it sure helped a lot when you're on Fighter Sword.
Yeah. Spider Sword and No-Half Magic, having those extra fire rod shots from using Bombos on the cold stair is, of course, a lot better.
So I see a couple people noped out of Ice Palace after the cane. Just gambling that it had to be in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That actually worked out, but me, I can't do that. With that last item was on Cold Stair, I'm like, I can't risk leaving the mirror on Cold Stair here and then, having to come back.
I couldn't help but think it might be a ped seed because I've had so many ped seeds lately, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I actually thought that after I left Pod without beating Helmasaur King. And I'm like, wait a minute. If this mirror's on Ped, it's very possible.
I'm gonna step out. Thanks for commentating and tracking.
Yeah, thanks for the restream, guys.
Our pleasure. GG's all around.
Yeah.
GG.
GG's to all of you. Thanks for being on the restream.
Thanks, guys.
And before we go, just one more thing. We are going to have some more speed gaming excellence for you. Currently going on is the New Super Mario Bros. Wii Any Percent tournament over on Speed Gaming 2, and the German final for the ALTTP tournament